Hello friends, today we are going to start MCQ for anatomy. Anatomy is MCQ. Subject anatomy first year के लिए. Question number first. Which of the following statements is false about genitourinary anatomy? A. Superficial dorsal penile artery is a branch of bulbourethral artery. B. Penile skin is supplied by superficial external pudendal artery. C. Penis receives 3 venous drainage system. D. There are 5 urethral sphincters in children. E. Nerve supply of penis includes pelvic splanchnic nerve. Correct answer is A and D. That is, superficial dorsal penile artery is a branch of bulbourethral artery. There are 5 urethral sphincters in children. Vasculature and innervation of the penis. A. Arterial supply mainly by branches of the internal pudendal artery, branches of anterior division of the internal iliac artery. Dorsal arteries of penis supplied the fibrous tissue around corpora and skin of the penis. Deep arteries of penis, cavernous artery of crura of penis. They pierces the crura and run within the corpora cavernosa, thus supplying erectile tissue. Artery of a bulb of penis, bulbourethral artery, supply posterior part of the corpus spongiosum plus corpus gland. Superficial, deep branches of external pudendal artery, branch of the femoral artery, supplies penile skin. Venous drainage, the penis is drained by 3 veins system: superficial, intermediate and deep. Superficial system drain into left saphenous vein from the more superficial tissue may drain into external superficial pudendal vein. Intermediate system contains deep dorsal and circumflex vein lying within the and beneath Buch's fascia. Deep drainage system consists of crural vein, cavernosal vein, the internal pudendal vein. Lymphatic drainage, glands drain into deep inguinal nodes. From rest of the penis, lymph drainage into the superficial inguinal nodes. Nerve supply, somatic supply, skin of the penis is supplied by pudendal nerve, via dorsal nerve of penis and posterior scrotal nerve. A small area on the dorsum of proximal penis root, ilioinguinal nerve. The muscles, bulbocavernous and ischio-cavernous perineal branch of pudendal nerve. Parasympathetic, it is responsible for erection and is derived from pelvic splanchnic nerve. S2, S3, S4. Sympathetic, it is responsible for ejaculation, initial part, and is derived from L1 segment via superior and inferior hypogastric plexus. It's better to have atlas in front of you while doing these anatomy MCQs. It will help more. Question number 2. Fourth aortic arc is responsible for formation of A. Arc of aorta, B. Pulmonary artery, C. Pulmonary vein, D. Subclavian artery, E. Subclavian vein. Correct answer is A and D. Arc of aorta and subclavian artery. Aortic arc 4. The right and the left side develop differently. Left aortic arc 4 forms part of arc of aorta, which lies between left common carotid and left subclavian arteries. Right aortic arc 4 form most proximal part of the right subclavian artery. Distal part is formed by right dorsal aorta and right 7th cranial intersegmental artery. The left subclavian artery is formed by left 7th cervical intersegmental artery. About other option: pulmonary artery, 5th aortic arc, pulmonary vein. Pulmonary veins developed independently during the formation of the septum primum. Subclavian veins are formed from 7th cervical intersegmental vein. Question number 3. All are true regarding renal anatomy except left kidney is related to both 11th and 12th rib. Long axis is lateral and upward. C. Supplied by anterior segmental artery. D. Supplied by rectal plexus. E. Both kidney moves in opposite direction during respiration. Correct answer is B, D, E. Long axis is lateral and upwards, supplied by rectal plexus, and both kidneys move in opposite direction during aspiration. Here is a diagram. You can see it for the correspondence or correlation. Arterial supply. Each kidney is supplied by renal arteries left and right, which branches from left and right phrenic arteries, which branch directly from the abdominal aorta. Posterior apical, upper anterior, middle anterior, and lower are 5 segments of vascular supply in each kidney. Kidney receives approximately 20% of the cardiac output. Renal artery, segmental arteries, interlobar arteries penetrates the renal capsule and extends through the renal column between the renal pyramids. Interlobar arteries supplies arcuate arteries runs through the boundaries of the cortex and medulla. Interlobular arteries leads to the afferent arterioles supplied to the glomeruli. Branches of renal arteries are and arteries. Right renal artery is longer and pass behind inferior vena cava. Nerve supply of kidney. Kidney is supplied by renal plexus and off short of celiac plexus. Question number 4. True statement regarding anatomy of nasolacrimal apparatus is A. Nasolacrimal duct opens in inferior meatus. There is upper and lower canaliculi. C. Most people have common canaliculi. D. Canaliculus is lined by ciliary stratified columnar epithelium. E. Nasolacrimal duct is fractured in most head and neck injuries. Correct answer is A, B, C, E. That is except D. Nasolacrimal duct opens in inferior meatus. Correct. There is upper and lower canaliculi. Correct. Most people have common canaliculi. Correct. Nasolacrimal duct is fractured in most of head injuries and neck injuries. Nasolacrimal drainage apparatus consists of lacrimal canaliculi, lacrimal sac, nasolacrimal duct. Lacrimal canaliculi, there are 2 lacrimal canaliculi, superior and inferior on each side. They unite to form common canaliculus and drain via the sinus of the Meyer into the lacrimal sac posterior to the medial palpebral ligament and anterior to the orbicularis oculi muscle anterior to. It is lined by stratified squamous epithelium supplied by elastic tissue. Lacrimal sac. Lacrimal sac lies in a lacrimal fossa on inferomedial aspect of bony orbit between posterior and anterior lacrimal crest. We have a nice figure for orientation. The sac receives the lacrimal caniculae before it drains via wall of Krauss into nasolacrimal duct. Nasolacrimal duct. The nasolacrimal duct is the inferior continuation of lacrimal sac. 2 parts, interosseous part and membranous part. Interosseous part is 12 mm and membranous part is 3 to 5 mm. Important points. Interosseous part lies within the nasolacrimal canal of the maxilla. Membranous part 3 to 5 mm runs in the nasal mucosa, terminates below the inferior nasal meatus as a slit-like opening where it is covered by mucosal fold called valve of Hassner. Question number 5. Posterior interosseous nerve supplies extensor carpi radialis longus, extensor carpi radialis brevis, extensor carpi ulnaris, brachioradialis, extensor pollicis longus. Correct answer is B, C, E. That is extensor carpi radialis, extensor carpi radialis brevis, extensor carpi ulnaris, extensor carpi pollicis longus. One question regarding the carpals will be always there. The posterior interosseous nerve is a pure motor nerve and innervates superior extensor carpi radialis that supplies extensor carpi ulnaris, extensor digitorum, extensor digiti minimi, abductor pollicis longus, extensor pollicis longus and brevis, and extensor indicis. Question number 6. Cavernous sinus receives blood from superior ophthalmic vein, superior petrosal sinus, inferior petrosal sinus, cephaloparietal sinus, basilar plexus of vein. Answer A and D is correct. That is superior ophthalmic vein and cephaloparietal sinus. Tributaries, incoming channels of the cavernous sinus. Superior ophthalmic vein, branch of inferior ophthalmic vein or sometime vein itself. Central vein of retina. It may also drain in the superior ophthalmic vein. Superficial medial cerebral vein, inferior cerebral vein, saphenoparatal sinus. Frontal trunk of middle meningeal vein. It may also drain into pterygoid plexus or into saphenoparatal sinus. Question number 7. Inner Waldal rings includes Walder's ring, jugulo-digastric nodes, jugulo-omohyoid nodes, palatine tonsil, tubal tonsil, pharyngeal tonsil. Correct answer is C, D, E. That is palatine tonsil, tubal tonsil, and pharyngeal tonsil. The best figure is here. We have to remember it, not completely, but we have to differentiate inner ring and outer ring, the most important point. Question number 8. Structures passing through aortic opening into chest includes thoracic duct, azygous vein, hemiazygous vein, esophagus, inferior vena cava. Correct answer is A and B. That is thoracic duct and azygous vein. The aortic hiatus is a hole in a diaphragm. It is the lowest and most posterior of the large apparatus. It is located approximately at the level of 12th thoracic T12. Through it passes aorta, azygous vein, thoracic duct, and hemiazygous vein. Passes through left crus. Important point. Question number 9. Constituents of rotator cuff includes all except rotator cuff, teres major, teres minor, supraspinatus, infraspinatus, subscapularis. Answer is A, teres major. Each of the one of these muscle is a part of rotator cuff and plays an important role. Supraspinatus. This holds your humerus in a place and keep your upper arm stable and help lift your arm. Infraspinatus. It is a main muscle that lets your rotation and extension of our shoulder. Teres minor. It is the smallest rotator cuff muscle. The main job is to assist with rotation of arm and away from the body. Subscapularis. It holds your upper arm bone in your shoulder blade and helps to rotate your arm, hold its strength out and lower it. There is a beautiful figure to explain the insertion and arrival. Question number 10. Not true statement regarding parotid gland. Deep lobe contain deep lymphatics divided into superficial and deep lobes by facial nerve. Parotid ducts open opposite to second upper molar. D. Ectodermal in origin. Auriculotemporal nerve is a main sensory nerve. Correct answer is A. Deep lobe contain deep lymphatics. Development is like this. Parotid gland is the first salivary gland to appear in early 6th week. It is ectodermal in origin and develops from buccal epithelium just lateral to the angle of mouth. Structures emerge from parotids. The following structures emerge from the parotid glands: anterior border, parotid duct, three terminal branches of the facial nerves, the zygomatic and the buccal branches towards the temporal region, eyelids and cheek respectively. Mandibular branch run along the body of mandible towards the mouth apex. Fifth terminal branch of the facial nerve. Cervical branch continues into the neck to platysma. Anterior and posterior division of the retromandibular vein. Posterior border, posterior auricular nerve, posterior auricular artery, posterior auricular vein. Along base, superficial temporal artery, temporal branch of the facial nerve, auricular temporal nerve. Structure within the gland, arteries, vein and nerves as follows. Here we will stop. These were the these were the 10 MCQs in PGI pattern, only anatomy subjects. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.